is the description. Now I'm a little bit worried about this based on what the description is, but we'll see. A red-brown ale brewed with high kilned malts. The roasted malt sweetness and fragrant aroma hops make this beer a deeper and pleasant brew. So yeah, so just a small little bottle. The fact that it's already brown, I can't say I'm excited about this. I'm a little bit scared because it sounds like the Ruby Goblin Goblin drink, and I can't say I was a big fan of that. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna pour it and just give it a go, and I'll give my honest reaction and response. So let's get it open. All right, we have the drink open. Off the bat, yeah, it's definitely giving me like a real malt smell. I've been drinking a lot of Hazy Jane recently, because the shop nearby does like a pack of them, and it's put me back in a position of like drinking like much humbler. That's not the right word, but I'm going to use it. Ales. But let's get to pouring. Let's see what it's like. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, this is a bit ridiculous. Okay, I'm very worried about this one, I can't lie. I don't think I'm going to like it. But, let's see. So first of all, the head has been very annoying there. It just immediately went up. It's slightly more reddish than the camera is allowing it to be. But it is very dark. Like when I see amber ale, I wouldn't think like this is an amber ale. Like, I don't understand how this fits into that category, like purely based on taste, because it doesn't look like amber, you know. It's very malty. There's definitely a sweetness there. I can already tell, like, I can already feel it in my mouth, like the smell in my my throat. There's a real strong sweetness there. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this. I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. Right, let's just jump straight into it. Let's take a sip. No. I can't say this one's for me. I really don't like sweet malt. It's just a bit sickly for me personally. And malt is almost like it's hard to describe, but the closest I've seen people describe it as is bready, like bread, so almost savoury. But then there's a sweetness with it, and it's like having sweet bread, which you would think would be okay because, you know, like sandwiches with like some sweet spread, whether it be like jam, marmalade, chocolate spread, whatever it might be, that it would taste nice like in combination. But it's more like having bread in a savoury sandwich, but the bread is slightly sweeter. It's got a sweetness to it. That's the kind of equivalent, I think. Like for me, it feels misplaced. Oh. Yeah, it's obviously not necessarily bad, you know, because it's just not my taste. Like, I would put this only a few steps above the porter, but the porter was just even worse. This, if someone had a gun to my, if I had a gun to my head, I'd be drinking all of them anyway, right? I'm not gonna lose my life over the taste of a beer. But yeah, I can't say I like this. It just is so dark as well. When you hold it up against the light, you can see the reddish hue. You won't be able to see that. But it is generally very dark. Like a real dark brown. It's just a distaste the moment it hits my lips. Like the moment it finds its way into my mouth, I feel like this sickly feeling. It's not like overwhelming. If it was like really, really, really that bad, I wouldn't drink it. I will be honest, I probably am not going to drink this. It might sound like a waste, but ultimately I'm not going to put myself through displeasure simply because there's a video or that it was a gift, you know, like, you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. I think she wanted to get something that would that I could do on my channel for this, and yeah, it's a shame because I like Kirin, which is, I'm pretty sure, a Japanese lager. That's a very nice lager, but yeah, Nest beer, not really that pleasant in my opinion. But if you do like really malty beers, you know, sweet malt beers, you're gonna like this probably. So it's really hard for me to gauge like on a level of out of like malt beers how good it is, because I just don't really like any of them. So I don't really know how to like review it or compare it to others, because all of them don't taste nice to me, you know. I'm gonna up this price a bit. Oh, maybe I should have. Yeah, up it a little bit more. Oh my gosh. There we go. I can see some flickering down here in the corner, which is annoying. I think it's just the unfortunate lighting of the room right now. Yeah, it's a shame. I'll try and give some other notes about it. So it does smell woody. So there's like that. I find that smell / taste often walks alongside malt. Like it smells like an old barrel. Maybe that's why they've got wood on the front, because it has a woody taste. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like making that up, but it definitely is giving me like a wood. Maybe that's what it is. The sweetness is really, really prevalent, and so is the malt. But the sweetness is, it becomes an aroma. It becomes a sort of like aromatic sweetness that sort of like lingers there, and then it begins to kind of like, it doesn't burn in the sense of like a sensation, but it smells a little bit like burnt wood. It's really hard to tell. I struggle with kind of talking about drinks like these, because as I said, I don't really like them, so gauging it is difficult. We went to a bar up the road from here for my birthday a while back, and there was a bar that did like, I guess they like bring in obscure beers and stuff, or like home brew them or whatever. But when we were there, I got a I think it was like a red beer or something, a red lager or something like that. It was weird. Yeah, I can't say I was a big fan of that, if I'm honest. It wasn't particularly pleasant, but I actually preferred it to the what is it, London Ale, I think is the brand. I got a London Ale at the first place. For my birthday we did a pub crawl, and yeah, we went to the first one, and I got a London Pride. That's what it's called, London Pride. And yeah, I didn't really rate it much. Apparently it's its own kind of beer, like an English beer or an English ale. But I didn't really like it. It just tasted, I don't know if it was the London Pride or that barrel, because it tasted super watery, like watered down. But also it was just really bitter, and I don't know, it just lacked something that I found appealing, I guess. And that's the kind of ale that I talk about when I say like, oh, I don't really, that what's put me off ale is typically that, and stuff like this, because because I really, really do not like red brown ales. Anything with sweet malt really puts me off. I don't mind any other kind of like aromaticness in there, and even like a caramel I'm fine with. But like when it's a red brown sweet malt ale, I don't know, I don't vibe with it, I guess. It's such a strong hit right at the beginning. Like it's a overwhelming sweetness, then it goes into this sort of like burnt wood, and the maltness is there, and it's just a bit tacky, and it has this kind of sticky, lingering texture in the mouth, which I found with a lot of like sweet malts personally. So yeah, on all different fronts, I can't really say that I enjoy it. I mean, the look of it, I'm trying to break this down. I think every element of it I feel in opposition to. Like, I don't want to drink a drink that looks like brown, you know, I want something a little bit nicer. But I guess that's kind of it, right? I want something that's like bright, a little bit more vibrant, unless it's something that I know the taste of well and I feel like I'm confident in drinking it. So unfortunately, yeah, on the viewing front, the head when it's poured, it's just so thick and like gloopy that it just makes me already anticipate a quite dense drink, which maybe is something pleasant to someone else but not for me. The smell is just very overwhelming. The taste then follows up by being very much the same, very strong and sweet, the malt in the background, and it kind of hits the back of my throat, and you know that tingle in your tonsils, almost like it feels like a tingling sensation that moves up the back of your throat, under your ears. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I have sensory issues, but I definitely do. But like, maybe that's something I've not thought of. Anyway, I get this sensation. It's not pleasant. Like, it just makes me want to drink it. I don't know. I just don't want sweetness in a beer. You know, if I was having a cider, it's a little bit different. But even then, I wouldn't want this taste. It's not because it's not fruity. It's just like it's like a starchy sweetness. Well, literally starch being broken down into glucose. That's the kind of like sweetness it is. It isn't a sweet, fruity sweetness. I said sweetness a lot of times in that paragraph. Yeah, and even in mouthfeel, it's just very dry and tacky. Just not my drink. I'm sure there are people out there. I'm not suggesting that this drink is bad, and that the craftsmanship that went into it is poor. What I am saying is that it's just not something that I enjoy drinking, and that's okay. I'm allowed to not like certain things. You're allowed to like the things I don't like. I would be interested to know in the comments, for those of you that watch these drink review videos, like, what kind of beers do you like? By the description of how I've described this, would you like this? Again, here's the bottle. It's Nest beer, and yeah, as I said, a red brown ale, brewed with high kilned malts, which I guess that sort of burnt smokiness, or like maybe it's not wood, maybe it's more smoky. It could be coming from like kilned malts. I don't know. Or the fact that it's high kilned, I don't really know how that might impact it, but I'm guessing it could add a more smoky taste. Yeah, I would love to know what your thoughts are on these sorts of ales. Do you think that this should be considered an amber ale? Because to me, I just don't get why dark brown ales can be called amber ales. Like, this is just so different to other amber ales I've had. Like, I know there are like breakdowns of that category, but even then, surely if the term amber is in there, it should look amber. Whereas that doesn't look amber, does it? That is brown. Maybe it's the reddish hue that gives it the definition. I don't know. Either way, I think I'm going to put that down for now because I don't really like it, and I don't want to drink the rest of it, which is sad. But part of this, this little series of videos that I do is trying new drinks. I'm not going to like them all. Some of them I will absolutely detest, like the porter. And hopefully you're here for. You're invested enough at this point to care about my opinion on these things, so that drinking sounds aren't the most important thing. But there are whispers in here, so at least it's a whispery video. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. Overall, from my personal taste, I would put it maybe one or two above the porter, the plum porter. I don't know if I would put it above the the ruby goblin or not. I'm not sure, because I don't really remember what that tasted like, and quite frankly, I don't want to go back and taste it again just to pit it against this. I would say they may be equal. I might put that. I might put this just ahead of it, because I think if I really had to, I would drink it, but out of choice I'm not going to, whereas the other one really would be a real struggle, because that one was just really, really sweet to the point that it almost tasted like medicine. Like, it went beyond sweetness to like fake sweetness and medicine, at least in my humble opinion and taste. I'm sure, as I said, there are people that thoroughly enjoy these dark brown ales, but I just don't think they're for me. That doesn't mean I won't try them in the future. I'll keep going. Maybe I'll find one that I really like. But as of right now, sweet malted red brown ales, I don't like. Let's put it on the list with porters. And probably most stouts, but I'm not willing to make that judgment yet, because I do like Guinness. Anyway, thank you very much for listening in. I hope you've enjoyed the whispers and some of the opinions in this video. Hopefully the background sounds aren't too loud and annoying. I hope not. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever it is you are in the space-time continuum. Please consider dropping a like if you enjoyed. Maybe subscribe if you've watched this far and are not already subscribed. And perhaps check out some of the videos appearing on the side of the screen, because they're pretty cool. This one's awesome. That one is even better, I have heard. I should come over here. Take care.